o'clock. Hello everyone, and I'm on time and feeling good today. Although it's been we all been through some ups and downs lately, but today we get to come together and just let all of it go, which is always such a relief after these calls. So thank you so much for joining me. And we're gonna do these calls a little bit different. I rarely, I can't say, when I'm doing these calls, I don't always remember what I said. And then I listen to them and I'm all over the place. And I'm like, how does anyone even understand what I'm saying half the time? And what I realize is, unless I'm really focused and following something, I can be kind of like all over as I'm following one thought to another. And when there's a lot of people on the call, I'm following the energy and it's a little bit all over the place. So recently I had a paid call. And when I do something where I know that people are paying and there's value there, I'm much more structured because I come from that corporate mindset, but then it's still flowy, but a little more flowy. So just so you know, I'm still going to continue doing the free calls 3 times a month. They're going to be slightly different. I'm going to add more of an introduction, a very small talk, and then the healing. And let's go for about 30 minutes at least, maybe 35. We'll go on based on the energy. And I'll start doing paid calls, but the paid calls will be a lot more structured, more like a presentation. You can walk around with some tips and tricks that you can leave with them so you can actually refer to what I talk to. I developed these for my corporate clients, and I'm kind of tweaking them for a little more esoteric kind of thing, but they're very helpful and they're pretty neat. But we're going to add to those calls where we're going to go into a deeper healing, and I might pull out my pendulum and things like that. So those calls are different, and I will explain more of what's happening with the healing. But for these calls, we're going to relax, we're going to let whatever bubbling up with us, and we're going to let it go. Before we continue though, I just want to talk to you about a few things. So one, I'm for those of you who were on one of the previous calls, a more recent one, I was talking about our pigeons. So at the healing resort, we have pigeons, and me and my partner Sim both love the pigeons very much. And we actually found out what was wrong with them. They had E. coli poisoning because a rodent got into their coop, which kind of infected 1 or 2, and then it kind of spread because they lived together. So we've asked a lot of healers to come and send positive energy, and I've included our pigeons in these calls. We've lost a huge amount of them, but the good news is it's shifted. But with that shift, we had a lot of orphan babies, and we were actually told to do something cruel to them, and like me and Asim just couldn't. They're living, so we adopted them. And I brought someone a call last time, and I wanted to show you a picture of them because I bond, as Asim says, you bond to everything so quickly, and it is true, kind of weakness I have. But I just wanted to show you. So the ones where they look a little bit bigger, they are still baby pigeons. We just stopped hand feeding them like 2 days ago, although we checked their bellies to make sure they're eating enough. And the other day we took them out of the house because they were in the house because we were keeping them kind of separate. And now they're outside on our porch and they're learning to fly. So, as a proud mom, one took a flight and I had tears in my eyes. But so we've named them all and they're all doing really well. There's only 2 that are siblings, the rest come from different parents, and they did make it. So these guys are doing well. And then the 2 baby pigeons, like the white ones, they're more recent. They're very young. They're about 2.5 weeks now. And I wanted to show you the video because they're so cute. Every time they see us, they cheep and they flap their wings, and we have to feed them with a syringe. Extremely sweet little pigeons. But the one sounds like a duck, and their beaks are very big, but they're just so cute in my eyes. So thank you for all the prayers, and thank you for these group healing calls, because I know this intense energy does get magnified, and with that it did help with the healing of our things, and things are starting to really move in the positive direction. So we've lost way too many, and we're just going to send love and stay on the positive track here. So with that being said, we have the farm property. A farm property is lots of fun. So I have a new Instagram account, and I'm going to start posting on it. But there's different streams with it because my neighbors have cows, and the cows stay on their side. They actually have a very big property, 100 acres. So the cows have lots of room to run around. But so they don't come to my side. The farmer has just 2 strings of fence, which I had no idea were electrical. So quick story, there was a baby cow, and I should have put a picture of the baby cow. There was a baby cow on my side, which I had no problems with that. But the mom was calling, help, so I'm just like, okay, something's wrong. I need to go see what's going on. So I walk over, and I see the baby cow's on my side, and it's only 3 days old, very cute little girl. And I realized, oh, this is not a big deal. I'm just gonna open the fence for you and let you go over. So I grab an electrical fence. Oh my gosh, did I get jolted? So I had no idea. I did touch this fence once before in wintertime. It wasn't on. I guess that's how they keep the cows. Now I realize why they don't hop over it. So at that point, I realized I couldn't help the cows. So I had to drive to the farmer, let him know. And anyway, lo and behold, the electrical fence went off. And the baby ran fast to the barn, never to come close to the fence again, I'm sure. And my arm hurt. And I asked the farmer, I said, like, there's no signs on the fence. I didn't know it was electric. He's like, well, what do you think? How do you think the cows stay over? He goes, it's very common to keep them, like if they're on my property, they could fall into the pond. So it's for their safety. There's a road close by. So he says, we have to keep them enclosed somehow when they learn their boundaries, and they have lots of roaming space, so they didn't come. But the little baby didn't know that. So that was a little story. So when you come to a farm, if you decide to join us for a day or a retreat or something, or you come, I am putting up signs to say this could be electric, so please don't touch it. I learned the hard way, and maybe it wasn't that, but when you're not expecting something, it's kind of like, whoa, what was that? So very interesting. So I did talk about the little cow. So I am going to be posting some animal pictures on the resort, and not everyone's into animals. You don't have to worry, the cows don't come on the property, but if you are using the labyrinth, what I do notice, and a lot of clients have said this, or people using the labyrinth, when you're using the labyrinth, there's just this energy that's created. It's a beautiful thing to kind of release all those burdens. The cows seem very interested when people are doing that, and they'll actually come line up and watch, which I've been watching them thinking, like, what are they seeing? And I'm sure they're seeing the energy doing whatever it does, because they can see different fields. So I thought that's pretty interesting. So there's a lot of fun things to do. The retreat days are going well. I'm learning as I go, but I'm up to suggestions. So if you do come out for one of them, enjoy it, but I would love your feedback, so that would be great. Oh, another thing, I am giving 25% off of video conferencing. So regular price, 25% off for all of June. I'm just trying to move people. I love people coming in person. Some people don't want to come out to the Selkirk location because it's far. So if I'm not in the area of Oakville, which I am still having clients there, it's just maybe the timing's off. You can do a video session, and you're on these calls, so video sessions work, and they are going to be at a reduced price for June. With that being said, I want to go into a very quick topic about receiving. And I just find it very fitting because I'm noticing it a lot. Whenever something starts to really show up in many different ways, I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good topic. This call is being replayed and being shared to anyone. So if you are coming in late or you have to drop off early, Feel free, like don't worry about it. You're included in the healing. I always, everyone that's registered, I do include them. I include their families. I know, we all do. We're adding this beautiful energy. It's coming together, and we're sending out to anyone who needs it. So don't think that, oh, I have to leave, I'm being excluded, or I can't make it tonight, excluded. Oh, and I apologize because I changed the date. So it's usually on a Tuesday. I didn't realize I double booked something and I had to reschedule this one. So I apologize because I had a lot of people saying they can't make it Wednesday. I said, not to worry, you're included. So at that time, just take a deep breath and allow that love. And even if they forget, they're still having it available and using it. So we all are working together. And this is quite interesting because when we come together, and I just kind of started meditating at the beginning of COVID, saying, how can I reach people and help people when I'm being told I can't bring clients in? And really my only video conferencing clients were overseas or in the States. My local clients were all in person, and then I couldn't take them in anymore because of COVID. So what happened was, during meditation, I was guided to do group healing calls. And for those of you who started out with those, I think there was only 5 or 7 of us, right? So, and some people have been on it since day one, which is really neat. And they've grown, and people watch them, and others on YouTube, and they get to rewatch them and things like that, which I find kind of fascinating. But I know it works, whether you're on the call now or watching it later. The energy knows who's there, and it works on us, right? Sometimes I replay them, or I replay other events I go to, and I can feel the energy coming through again. I always think, oh, they're taking off my next layer, which is always nice because we're always chipping away. But one thing that is so important is to have the belief that it works. Now, I'm assuming that everyone on the call has belief because you're here. So some people are trying for trying for the first time, so they might be skeptical, saying, okay, does it work? So how do we get out of that resistance? So it's very interesting because it comes in many forms. So let's say you're in a group healing session and I can feel like the energy leaving from people. It's just, let's say we're in a group session together. I really feel it as well when it's a smaller group because I almost can feel it where it's coming from. But in a bigger group, I just feel it lifting and kind of leaving and being replaced, and it gets lighter. So it's working. I know 100% works. I've seen people heal by distance. I've been healed by distance. So what happens, it's like sending a prayer. We are making this energy available. We can't force anyone to take it. And it's being done kind of at a level, the higher self. So we're kind of sending it out. So your higher self takes it. Now, if it's being sent to, say, a brother or a sister or a friend who doesn't want healing, but we care for them, and we're like, okay, I want to send this loving energy to this person. Well, the higher self has the energy to do what it needs to do. But if the little self, the 3D person says no, then the higher self can only do so much. Our higher selves, the beings of light, respect our free will. So if we're saying no to healing, I'm not ready, this is not something I want, it doesn't force it. So the light will never force anything. So you need to kind of ask. So every morning I wake up and say, I give permission to heal. I am allowing myself to heal. I ask the light to come in and do whatever is necessary to put me on the right track, to make sure that I'm safe, to make sure that I'm going to have a great day. I give permission for the light to come in because I have free will. I can choose to be angry. I can choose to be in a victim state. I can choose to not want to heal. So the light's there wanting to heal, but you may not get it. Now, then there's people who want to heal. They say, I want to get better, and they're doing sessions. There are some people who are making progress, and it's gradual. It can be very gradual. So never be upset if you're seeing gradual progress and you want to get there, but you're here, because we're all healing at our own pace. But if you're attending these type of calls or you're doing other things and you're really saying it's not working, I don't feel it, there's a few things there. One, you have some type of block, and there's a block, and it could be a block that Your friends think it's stupid. This is, you're hearing that it doesn't work. So you have these kind of doubts running in the background. Sometimes we have resistance. I'm going to say it's our ego, the darkness within us that doesn't want us to know things are working. So you get these thoughts, oh, that didn't work at all. That was not working. Don't even go to that person again. Stop reading that book. Don't meditate. Like you're trying to meditate and you're bringing that love feeling and you're being told by your thoughts in your head, go make dinner. You shouldn't be doing this. There's other things to do. That is the resistance within us that doesn't want us to change. Change is scary. And once you start to bring more light in and let go of more dense, dark energy, the ego loses its hold on you. And that ego does not want to lose its hold on us, So if it sees you shifting, it's going to talk you out of things that are good for you. I'm saying this from experience. When I walk into something good, my goodness, do I get so much resistance. But when I used to walk into something bad, it was so easy. Like, it was like, okay, everything's backwards, right? Not good for me. No, I don't want it. I'm sorry, good for me. I don't want it. Not good for me. I would easily go get it. So it was like, as I started to do work on myself, I'm just very stubborn. So I never gave up. And I can talk to that part of me. So if a negative thought came in and says you're ugly, you're stupid, I would say no, that is false. I am a magnificent being of light. I love myself. Light, please come in and dissolve this negative thought and replace it with God's love and light. And instantly I would feel better. But I had to say that over and over and over, and I still do. So it doesn't go away. It gets easier. Okay, it does get easier, but it's still work. There's no magic wand. And I know people are chasing. They're going from one healer to the next healer to the next healer. And that's great. I did the same thing. I went all over. But give the energy a chance to work. So when I first started meeting Dr. Beatty and working with her, I was in a really bad place. I had so much resistance. And I remember telling her, I feel nothing. But there's something in my heart that makes me come back. But I feel nothing. And she just smiled and she said, well, you're in a real bad place. You have so much resistance, but there's so much happening in your quantum field. I can feel it. And now I'm on the other end of it. And I hear people saying, it didn't do anything. It's not working. Yet when I see them, they're energetically lighter. And I just laugh. I think there's been huge shift in their energy field, but their physical body's not feeling it. Their mental state's not feeling it. But if they really sat and said to their brain, is this working? Show me a sign it's working. You would get a sign. You would feel more peace. You would feel lighter. But what happens is we want to block out saying it's not working, so we stop. Change is difficult. Change is scary, but we have to continue chipping away. It's work. It's work. It's work. And if I could make it easier, trust me, I would. I would get a magic wand and just wash everyone's crap away. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We're human, we've accumulated a lot, and we need to release. And what's happening is in this ascension process is we're lessening the darkness within us. We all have the light and dark, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's admitting that we do and looking within, looking at our patterns, looking at our self-sabotaging thoughts, looking at how many things did I say about myself that weren't nice today, and then catch them. And instead of saying, Brenda, you're ugly. No, Brenda, you're beautiful. Brenda, you're stupid. No, Brenda, you're smart. And then if you're on top of them, you're really just calling in that light and say, okay, I give you permission to help me feel better. Let me catch the words I say that are not doing me service. Watch for the actions, watch for any thoughts, words, anything that I'm doing in the day. And then I like to self-reflect at the end of the day. The relationships I had, the things I said, what could have I been better? How can I improve? I am always self-improving. So it's really a personal journey. And sometimes we need help. And even with these group calls, I might be leading the call, but we're doing this together. So yes, I can meditate and bring in the love for myself. But what happens in these calls is, I might start off bringing in the energy, but it is going around to all of us and picking up all our beautiful energy, swirling it into one beautiful beam of light. Some people see it as purple, some people see it as blue. And then we are not just sending it out to all of humanity, this beautiful world, we're getting it as well. So as we're sending it out, we are then receiving it. So we want to make sure we are in the receiving end of this energy. Yes, it's beautiful to participate. It's beautiful to send out the love, but I want us to take it in as well. And we're going to take it in at any level we need it. So we're going to allow it. We're going to take it out of physical, mental, emotional, whatever's needed. We're going to say yes to it. So that's kind of a personal thing where the little self, the 3D self says, okay, I'm here. I'm going to join this healing. I'm going to send love to this beautiful world. I'm going to send it to my family. I'm going to send it to my friends. I'm going to send it to whoever needs it. But I am also going to give permission to accept it. And I may not understand how to accept it. I may have belief systems that say, I don't deserve it, or I'm too angry to accept it. Sometimes we're angry and we feel like I don't deserve, I'm so mad, I don't want to get better. So we push away the energy. Sometimes we feel like, well, I did this and I did this and I did this. I don't deserve the energy. So we push it away subconsciously. What I want us to do now before we go into the healing, and we're not going to talk too long today, we're going to go into it. But what I'm trying to do right now is get us into that receiving mode so you get the most benefit of this healing, because you are adding to this beautiful collective of love. And think about where we are in the world right now. There's a lot going on, right? Like energetically. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling like there's been a lot of like pullback the last few days or last week or two. And that's okay, because we go 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're in this little, dance between light and dark. And it is what it is, right? We live in a planet of duality. We came here with purpose. We came here knowing we were coming. So we're here. So let's make the best of it. So if we're going to add more love to this planet, and the way I picture it when we're coming together to send this love out, is I picture Mother Earth and I see this glowing, beautiful light around it. And, there's a lot of groups, there's a lot of people out there in the world meditating, sending out love. So it's like connecting it all. So it's beautiful. And we don't know who it's helping. It might be helping people who don't have any hope, who are sleeping somewhere that they're not comfortable in. They may not have enough food, and we worry and we're like, we're not doing enough. How are we doing enough? And then that worry, that guilty feeling, like life is going good for me, but it's not for others, can kind of throw off our vibration. But the way to kind of help is keep your vibration high. Keep your love high, keep your happiness high, because it's those smiles that you give to strangers. It's the kindness you show people. It's walking away when people are gossiping because you don't want to be a part of it. It's all those things add positivity to this world. Or that person who's talking in those, like that same thing over, that negative thing, complaining, just saying, hey, look what a beautiful being of light you are. Look what you have. Why don't you not stop complaining and just look at the small things and appreciate them? They may look at you like you're from outer space, but you know what? One little piece of information may sit in that subconscious mind and trickle in one day and say, hey, why am I doing this? Maybe I deserve to think something different. Maybe I deserve to say my day's going to be good instead of saying it's going to be bad. And as they start to take care of themselves and they start to hold more light, they're helping the human collective. So we are, in just sitting together doing this in the comfort of our own home. We're all adding to the collective of the human consciousness. We're sending love, and it is a ripple effect that we really don't understand. And the guides, when they come in, they always tell us we are doing so much more than we can even articulate. So you know what? That's why I love doing these calls. I love doing it with you. I benefit, like my pigeons benefit, my family benefits, my clients benefit. I always find the water and the trees look happier the next day because we're sending it out to everything. With that being said, everyone, just take a deep breath and think about who you want to send a special intention to. I see some people have sent me direct messages. You are welcome to put in whoever you're worried about. It could be yourself. I have some in mind as well for myself. Some of my clients have reached out personally. They are in our prayers. Everyone on this call is in this together. Our families are being included. Our pets are being included. We're going to ask for a healing of our homes to make our houses feel lighter. Because when we argue or fight or sad in our house and have anxiety, that energy stays. Let's clear that away and replace it with love, replace it with light so it feels lighter for everybody. A trick that I use every morning is I say, my house is full of love, joy, and happiness. And if someone wakes up in a bad mood, I ignore it. I just keep saying, my house is full of love, joy, and happiness. And generally, they'll kind of pull into that energy and join into the fun. And you know what? If they're having a bad day, that's okay. We all have bad days. I have them too. So I just wish someone would pull me out of it. So sometimes I would go to my son, hey, feeling a little wobbly today. What should I do? He always says, what do you tell me? Go meditate. Oh yeah, you're right. And that's what I do, and I always feel better. So that's my go-to. I meditate to reconnect and feel good. So find whatever it is that makes you feel good. You can think of a bubble of love and light around you. Take a deep breath and say, I'm calm, I'm protected, I'm safe. It's all about intention. Ask and receive. It's that simple. So I'm just going to read here of all the messages that are coming in for the direct healing. I'm going to keep them in mind as we do this. But the way the guides, the beings of light that are going to be joining us today, and they're already here, and they're your guides. We're all connected here. They already know what we need. They already know who's on that list. They already know where this energy is needed, and it is going to flow out so beautifully. So let's get started. I'm going to put on some music. If anyone has a question at the end, I'd be more than happy to answer it. We're just going to, I'm not sure. We'll start with this one. There we go. Just give me a thumbs up once I share the music, if it is good. Or if it's too loud, let me know. If you don't like the music, then just shut it off. You don't have to listen to my music, for one. You can keep your eyes closed during the healing. That is perfectly fine. I like to keep my eyes closed when I have a healing done. You can ignore my arms waving. I'm trying not to do it so much, but it just happens. So, just ignore it if it bothers you. You might feel coldness, you might feel heat, you might feel thirsty. So I'm going to drink before I start because I'm very thirsty right now. All that's okay. So if you're new to this, just allow whatever is going to happen, because it is your higher self that's accepting it. It's you that are sending out this energy, and it's all swirling together to form a beautiful healing mass of energy that's going to be given to all of us. So I'm going to share the music. Here we go. Okay, just take a few deep breaths. I'm just going to play the singing bowl just to move out the energy. Just breathe through it. It may not sound perfect, and that's okay. I'm going to do one more time. Okay, so some of you might still be buzzing from that. Whew. Okay, that was beautiful, very intense. Whew, I'm still buzzing from that. So hopefully, but I'm not gonna chat too much right now. I'm just gonna drink some water though. You might be very thirsty. Drink as much as you want. There's no wrong amount. If you're drinking 10 glasses of water and waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, that's okay. That can just be part of healing and you're releasing the toxins or whatever you need to do. So just allow your body to do what it needs to do with that energy. Some of you, I set the intention for like a nice, peaceful sleep. Some of us don't sleep after an energy healing because we're processing. But there's a trick. You can ask, God, your angels, whatever you want to call that energy that loves you so much. It doesn't matter what you call it. Just say, listen, I'm going to have a peaceful sleep tonight, and you can do all the processing you need to, but I don't want to be a part of it. And that's what I do sometimes because I used to be up all night processing stuff. I'm like, okay, why don't I just ask not to be a part of it? Just do it for me, and I'm going to go to bed. So you ever hear like, give it to God and go to sleep? That's what I do. And I've been sleeping a lot better, letting them do the processing and wake up feeling much lighter. So have a peaceful sleep. Do whatever it is that you do after healing. Either go right to bed. You may be hungry. I usually get hungry and have to eat after these. So it just listen to your body, and this energy will work for 3, 4, 5 days. Some people have actually said the last 6 days they can feel it working. Whether you feel it or you don't feel it, it's working. We're just different in our sensitivities, and know that together we made such a beautiful difference in this beautiful planet. Just take a deep breath and just enjoy that real peace, calm feeling, and have a really, really peaceful night. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you have any questions right now, I'll answer them, but it seems like the chat's pretty quiet tonight. So have a good night, everyone. Sleep well, and we'll see each other on the next call. All right. Have a good one. Bye. Good night. You're all very welcome.